It's your boy Conejo, ya saben, man. Like I told you yesterday, today we're gonna be talking about local park, homie. But not just any local park, cause I had said that on my live yesterday. There's multiple local parks in different areas, right? Like the homie Renegade Media was mentioning one that's in Baisa, right? It's a Baisa Sureños that are called local park and shit, or local park Sureños, something like that, right? So pretty much this is for the homie from my town that asked me what the fuck's going on, and he wanted me to make a fucking video on local park. But this would be local park Norteños from Watson, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be talking about them, and even though I might seem like I'm kind of talking shit or hating, don't take it like that. It's just those it's gonna be history and some facts, homie. You know what I'm saying? That on that neighborhood, they went through some shit, homie, and I'm gonna explain why some of the homies either got jumped to City Hall, some fool went to Portside, another couple went to my hood, and shit like that. But local park's still out there, homie, and they're still striving, and it fucking, to me, it progressed, homie. It's a way better now to how they used to be, at least, you know. So I'm gonna be talking about that, homie. So I hope you guys like this video. So make sure to put a thumbs up right now, or subscribe, homie. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't subscribed yet, man, make sure to subscribe. If you're gonna put a thumbs down, at least wait till towards the end of the video, homie. You know what I mean? With all that being said, man, let's get started. That's another old neighborhood in Watson, you know what I'm saying? Local park. They used to be called river rats because they're right there by the levee and shit, right? Of course, they don't go by that shit no more because of what it sounds like, you know? But back then, homie, they would say that shit proudly and shit, that they were river rats. But so that's one of the things that you guys might be like, man, this was talking shit, man. We're right now, bro. But those are facts, homie. That neighborhood kind of ended up like dying out, bro, or because most of them either got locked up. Let's be quite real, some got deported, homie. That was another like paisano neighborhood at the beginning. With like my generation, shout outs to Vago, even though that homie's not from local park no more and shit. Shout outs to that homie, he was repping it hard, you know, in my generation, right? That fool right there, was like one of the only, there was only like maybe 6 to 7 fools from local park, right? Like when I was in 8th grade. Well, not even 8th grade, like 7th grade, right? There was like 8 of them. And they were getting, their big homies happened to be Bago's brother, you know, which happened to be someone that was not active, homie. You know what I'm saying? I'm not quite sure, but I had heard some shit, you know, that he had something in his jacket. And so not nothing foul, but like maybe like a dry, you know what I'm saying? And this fool fucking was running the neighborhood still, right? Like even though he was not active, the little youngsters didn't know, so they would listen to this fool. And I believe he would go by Barney or something like that. They would listen to this fool, so like a lot of fools didn't take that neighborhood serious, right? Like because other hoods knew, homie. Like I knew my hood, I know my hood knew, you know what I mean? That's something that we used to talk about, right? Because when we got the homie Rascal into the neighborhood, we had told him like, fool, like pretty much your hood's not even established, homie. It's not even a neighborhood. You guys are being run by a dropout. And so it had gotten some backlash, homie, and like, well, we had taken some members. And as you guys can tell, right, like, I mean, that's gonna bring funk, homie, with any neighborhood, right? Like, it's gonna bring funk. So we started funking with them, homie. We would tag up the hood right there in the park, and they would fucking cross us out. And what they were supposed to do, of course, you know, they would cross us out. And well, not a lot of people took them serious, homie. You know, not until like 2000, I want to say 2008, yeah, like 2008, 2007, they started taking them, they started catching a little bit of flame and started taking them a little bit more serious. But they had a drop, like them older fools, right? Like they had actually like stopped fucking going by what old boy would say, and like they started recognizing old boy was as a dropout, right? So a lot of the homies were like, oh, okay, like at least these fools ain't like taking orders, right? But you still gotta remember that hood didn't have no older homies. These are all youngsters running amok, you know what I'm saying? And To my knowledge, City Hall ended up taking them under their wing, homie. And because I remember when we were funking with them, they ended up letting us know, like, hey, bro, like, it's not cool, like, all that red on red. And even though our hoods don't give a fuck, like, my hood don't care, homie, when it comes to that type of stuff, right? Like, they're known to set trip and they do all that. They love it, homie. That's what they do. And these other fools were like chales, you know, and they got at our channel, and as political shit goes, it stopped, homie. We stopped all that red on red, and I ain't gonna lie, bro. As you can see, that would be like, you guys probably been, man, Conejo's talking down on that hood, you know. Respects, homie, to that neighborhood, right? Like I said, started catching flame again. Now when I got out, right, I had an encounter with one of the local parkers, right there by Lakeview at the, it's a little liquor store, homie. You know what I'm saying? Right across the quick stop. And I had an encounter with the local parkers. There was 3 of them, and at that time, I mean, I didn't have direct deposit and none of that stuff. You know, your boy was he barely had gotten a job, homie. So I was catching my check right there, and the little local parker was mugging me, homie, right? And not the older ones, not the ones that were like my age. It was the little youngster, so I gave him that, homie. I was like, damn, that hood right here, it came a long way from how it was, you know? And these fools ended up fucking, like, they gave me a pass, I guess. We'll call it like that. We'll say they gave me a pass, you know? They never jammed me up. The little youngster he just mugged the shit out of me, and we had like a little eye competition, like, like, what the fuck you looking at, fool, right? But they didn't do shit. I guess I could say I was lucky. But I tripped out, right? And I started looking up all the videos on local park. Came across that one video of the homie Spencer about the hair G. The one homie R.I.P. Flesh. And I was like, damn, I started bumping his music. I started to ask around with some people that I talked to and could still talk to. They started telling me about all these little youngsters like Puppet and all these little homies from local park, right? And how their get down was. And I was like, damn, I was like, all right, cool, you know what I'm saying? And with time, I kept hearing their names and shit like that. And I noticed that their hood actually did a comeback, homie. They came back and they're established right there in Watson, homie. They're the same area, right there on the park, homie. But they claim that whole little area right there by Riverside. And at least that little section where the park's at, because I do got some homies that are from Clifford that live towards the end and shit like that, right? So pretty much fucking they did a comeback, homie. So respects to that, you know. I know it might have seemed like I was talking down on them a little bit and shit like that, but nah, homie, those are just facts. A lot of the shit that they went through back in the day was crazy, homie. You know, me personally, I thought that hood was gonna be gone by the time I got out, right? But nah, homie, they're established. Now they got older homies that are like my age. They're like my age. They don't really got like older homies, you know what I'm saying? Like older homies. Like I know my neighborhood has fucking a couple that are super OG and they're not over there putting in work, homie. They're doing their family thing, but they're still active, you know, still from the neighborhood. They're still welcome and all that, you know what I'm saying? So I know that hood doesn't, homie. So salutes to all them youngsters that are running that hood and they're doing their thing, homie. Make sure to let me know in the comments if you guys are still being run by, under City Hall or what, you know what I mean? Because I remember that hood was the one that I spoke up for you guys. But with all that being said, man, this is gonna be a little profile that I did on local park, homie. Let's give them the respects, homie, because they're low on numbers, but they're still there. Um, Even though they had some shit in the past, they done fixed it, homie. And yeah, man, I will be putting some videos on RIP Flash. Like I'll be doing a profile on him and a couple other homies from the park, right? But this was pretty much to put a profile on local park. And I mean, even though I gave a little bit of history of like shit that they probably didn't want people to know, it's out there. And yeah, man, we're gonna give you your respects, homie. This is a profile on local park, but the Norteños from Watson, you know what I'm saying? Not from Tulare, homie, or none of that. So I hope you like this video, homie, because I did this for you. It's for one of my local parkers that I fuck with, and yeah, bro, I did this video for you, homie, so that when you type in local park, homie, you're gonna see a big ass XIV or Norte. I don't know what I'm gonna put on the picture, homie, but you'll see your thing, homie. So don't be upset when you see fucking Renegade Media talking about local park sureños. with all that being said, man, I send my love to everyone, homie, in full. Ya saben, homie. Make sure to put a thumbs up if you liked the video. If you didn't like the video, man, put a thumbs down. It's easy as that, homie. Just click that shit. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, man, with all that being said, man, I send my love to everyone in full. And yeah, it's your boy Conejo, and I'm out.